radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Yeah, man, Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Wednesday, June 7th. 157 days into the new year, just 208 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Good evening, everybody. How are you? We've got a great show lined up tonight, and you just listened to a track called On My Way from Clayton Joseph Scott. We've got some other music lined up tonight from DisclosureFest Los Angeles, and that is our show tonight. We're going to do a special broadcast presenting the DisclosureFest, which is taking place in downtown Los Angeles on Saturday, June 17th at the Los Angeles State Historic Park. Tickets are free. We will have all of the information that you need. We'll be discussing it all night tonight. To come down and hang out with us, I'll be speaking that Saturday at around noon. And so come down and hang out with us. Great food, fun, music, knowledge, disclosure, meditation. It's all going on in downtown Los Angeles on Saturday, June 17th. Tomorrow night is going to be another Fader night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. Okay. So tonight, this is what we're going to be doing. At the bottom of the hour, Adrien Vallera is going to be here, the producer of DisclosureFest and the Mass Meditation. And we're going to be discussing what this platform actually is and the exciting lineup of guests and why we are doing this. This is part of what we want to do here at Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, and that is present to you knowledge, coolness, oneness, everything that we need for our community to take one step forward. And that's what we do here. And that's what we are about. And when Adrien first started to talk to us so long ago about DisclosureFest and what it was about, and we were just so excited and pumped up and wanted to be a part of it. And here we are. So we're a week away, a little over a week away from DisclosureFest. And so tonight, that's what we're going to do. So from 7:30 to 8, Adrien's going to be here. And then at 8 p.m. at the top of the hour, Guru Jugat is going to be here and is going to take us on a Kundalini journey. And then at 8:30, Laura Eisenhower is going to be here, good friend of the show and a great personal friend as well. So she will be here. She is one of the keynote speakers there at DisclosureFest. And then at the top of the hour at 9, Richard Ian is going to be here, and we're going to talk about planetary grids and DNA codes and past life regression and discovering the secret space program with regression. So that will be at 9. And then at 9:30, I've got some more music. and Adrien is going to close out the show with me tonight. So there you go. Adrien's going to be here through the entire broadcast. It was really funny. Right before the show, as we're doing sound checks with everybody and getting everything set up, Adrien was supposed to be on another radio show. And, man, I feel bad about that. So when he comes on at 7:30, I'm going to apologize to him humbly for that, because if the same thing would have happened here, you know, it's just, I know what it's like to put a show together and to have something like that happen. But this is a big broadcast, and we've got all of these other things that we are doing tonight, all at the same time. Also, with Richard, will be Cian Chua. She is going to be here too as well. So, a great night tonight. So just get comfortable, have some fun. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do, at JChurchRadio. Facebook, YouTube, everything is Fade to Black. JChurchRadio. You can go now, follow, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is really cool. Any questions or comments during the show tonight, use hashtag F2B for the sandbox, hashtag F2BQ on Twitter. All right. Now you can email throughout the show, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. And don't forget, this month we are giving away, just go to our membership area, become a Fader Not. This month we're giving away a Life Change Tea package. Everybody here, that's our drawing this month. Everybody here is on the Life Change Tea program. And so go. You are going to want to get in on this drawing. Today, by the way, I'm just going to let everybody know, today we shipped out another massive shipment of T-shirts and hats and other things, and the Studio Dome prize and so forth. It was just so cool to see all of this stuff go out to you, and we do it like every other day. You know, we're going to the shippers, and today was just kind of a special day, and I knew what the show was going to be tonight. And doing that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that has become a Fader Not. Thank you. Our membership area is an exclusive place for the Fader Nots, where you do get commercial-free downloads of the shows just for the Fader Nots. You get the bunker cam, and if you sign up for a year and you get the Game Changer, you get an autographed hat, which is just exclusive for the Game Changers, and you get a T-shirt. We have a couple versions of T-shirts now, and it's just such a cool thing. And I just want to thank everybody. When we put together the coffee bar package, and I was looking at that, we have some of the limited edition Fade to Black blend, and that is part of the coffee bar. And that's what you get when you become a Fader Not. Okay, this is a family here. All right, man, I'm loving all the Steve Vai stuff, man. What's going on with that? That was yesterday. That wasn't today. All right, a couple of things really quick. Don't forget about our podcast. If you need a podcast version of the show, it's not a podcast. It's a podcast version of the show. Everything is archived there. We've, as of today, 670 archive shows. Wow, what a crazy number. 670. Unbelievable. Everything is there in the podcast, $2 a month. Go over, and if you need a podcast and you need the apps and that's what you want, and it's an easy way for you to go, $2 a month. All right, it's that simple. Or you can go to the membership area. Other than that, we have some breaking news right before the show tonight. A Myanmar military flight went missing with 120 people on board, and this is according to the Myanmar military. Crews are now searching for the plane in the Andaman Sea, south and west of Myanmar. 106 passengers and 14 crew members were on the flight. Myanmar's armed forces dispatched 6 Navy ships and 3 airplanes as part of the search and rescue operation, but it just completely disappeared over the ocean. So there you go. More on that in just a bit. All right. Don't forget to check out all of our sponsors, Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, Studio Dome Speakers. Please click on their banners over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Use the promo codes for discounts and free shipping. We will be at DisclosureFest. That's what the show is about tonight. And that is taking place June 17th at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles. And tickets are free. So all you have to do is go and register at www.disclosurefest.com. All of the tickets and info and information that you need is up in Twitter right now, or go over to our website and just click on the Disclosure Fest banner. Also, coming up at the end of this month, I can't believe it, the bucket list event for Rita and myself. We will be at the ECETI Ranch for their July 4th Science, Spirit, and World Transformation Conference. Just click on the banner over at our site, JimmyChurchRadio.com, for tickets and info. You can just go to ECETIEvents.com or click on the banner over on our site and check out the full weekend of events. I'll be speaking twice that weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to arrive on Friday. There's a dinner and all of that stuff that's going on Friday night, so we will be there for that, and we're staying through the entire weekend. I cannot wait for ECETI. There's going to be some amazing night vision going on. More on that. Let's see. I'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. All right. Well, I think we've got something very special for all of you Fadernauts that are going to be attending. Okay. Then, of course, Corey Good's conference up at Mount Shasta, and that's August 18th. So we are booked up. Nothing but Fade to Black getting out there with the peoples, hanging out with you. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to my favorite. Well, there's Elvis, and then there's Tom Jones. The Tom Jones today is 77. Mars Attacks. That's all I got to say. Mars Attacks. I have a bootleg. 4. A bootleg 4 CD compilation of Tom Jones live in Las Vegas. And it's insanely great. He's got all his hits, and the rest of it is cover tunes, and it's just absolutely amazing. And, I should play some of that sometime. Bill Hader today is 39, Hot Rod. Really good in Tropic Thunder, too, as well. Dave Navarro today is 50, the big 50. And also Michael Cera. I like Michael. Michael Cera today is 29. What was that movie he was in? The World's End, The End of the World, where he played Michael Cera. That was pretty funny. Michael Cera today is 29. Our dead guys' birthdays today are Prince, 1958 to 2016, died tragically last year. Prince, happy birthday. And also the one and only Dean Martin on this day, right? 1917 to 1995, happy birthday, Dean Martin. Both of those guys are probably singing some pretty classic tunes somewhere in this universe. OTD on this day in history, 1976, the world changed. That's because New York Magazine publishes the story that becomes Saturday Night Fever. And disco fever takes over the world. You know, it was kind of, there were, all those rock and rollers back then. And remember the Disco Sucks T-shirts and everything that went around. But I got to tell you, I loves me some disco, number one. Saturday Night Fever, that entire album is amazing. That's number 2. Number 3, I look back, and that's some of my fondest memories. Man, that summer of 78. Oh, man. 79. Yeah. Disco was pretty cool. I know it was a dark period during that time, but looking back, those were good days. Fader fact. You have to be, this is a fact now. You can vet this if you want. You have to be a retired letter carrier, postman. You have to be a retired letter carrier to live in Knollcrest, Florida. And I'm not joking. Ironically, the town does not have mail delivery service. That, my friends, is a fader fact. Tonight, very special broadcast presenting the Disclosure Fest Los Angeles, taking place in downtown Los Angeles next Saturday, June 17th at the Los Angeles State Historical Park. Tomorrow night is another fader night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by Open Lines. Now, I wanted to take a moment to discuss what is about to happen tomorrow in the United States, in Washington, where Comey is going to testify, right, in front of Congress. Now, the headlines today were all over the place. And what was Disco Still Sucks? Way to date yourself, Jimmy. Yeah, man, the disco. Man, it was good. Man, I was 15 years old, okay? I was 15. I can claim innocence, but man, you know, slow dancing to How Deep Is Your Love? By the beach. Okay, so anyway, those are, you know, the sophomore, junior prom, senior proms. Man, those were good days. Let's just remember that. I have a fond memory for it all. Anyway, James Comey is going to testify tomorrow. And it was interesting for me to do something that I don't normally do. And I sat in the bunker and was rotating around the different news channels and reading on the internet and looking at the breaking news. And tomorrow's going to be a pretty big day. At least the media wants to do that, right? And I was jumping around on mainstream media, which includes, I was looking at some of the European stuff and Russian stuff and how they are looking at tomorrow. And it's bizarre to me. And this is the bizarro twist. As we know, you know, CNN being, you know, completely left and liberal and Fox trying to go as far right as they can and being that side of things. The headline, I almost posted some of the headlines. I was going to do some screen grabs and post them for comments because the CNN stuff was, I forget how they worded it, but the Comey bombshell, right, where he released some of his pre-interview talking points today and stuff that he was going to reveal tomorrow. And then they toned it down on CNN, but this is what ended up happening. Over on Fox, and MSNBC was doing the same thing, and so was ABC and NBC and BBC and Russia Today. I was Sky News. I was trying to read, and it was really kind of strange how they all kind of came to the middle. And it was bizarre because they changed the headlines where on one side, you know, with Fox, it was like, okay, this is going to be no big deal. It's going to be this. And CNN, the Comey bombshell, right? It's going to be lit up. And as the day moved forward, and that includes everybody else out there, as the day moved forward, started to come to the middle, which was I think the right is now kind of given into tomorrow's going to be, you know, pretty earth-shaking, but it may not, right? So they kind of pulled to the middle, and CNN and the other left stuff was like, well, it may not be that groundbreaking. It may actually help Trump. And everything just kind of came to the middle, which says to me that nobody knows what is going to happen. Nobody knows. It's interesting. Nobody knows really but Comey how he's going to word this. The stuff that he presented today and went public today was pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. They're saying that he's not going to, and then others are saying that he is going to. Nobody really knows, but this is my point in commenting on any of this. Not since Watergate or since ever has this country gone through a shakeup and a boiling point like we are going through right now. It is so unstable. And the reason it's unstable for a lot of different reasons. It's unstable because Trump chooses to go through Twitter instead of speaking, right? He chooses to, we're not used to that. That's pretty bizarre. So there's that part of it. The other side with this possible Russian stuff that is there and it won't go away. And Flynn and Comey and firing and investigations but there's something else that makes this thing very, very unstable that nobody is talking about. There are right now, there are literally a couple of hundred of appointments that need to be made out of Washington to fill jobs around the country and in Washington. And at this point, right now, this is what is trippy. The appointments haven't been made. There's only been around 20 that have been made. There are no current appointments scheduled for interview at all with Congress or with anybody. There is nobody sitting in the wings to go and fill all of these important jobs. And federal prosecutors, we fired them all. There isn't any. There isn't. There is nothing in the works to do this. How does the government possibly move forward on so many different agendas? Now, this isn't a criticism of Trump. This is me worrying about my country and what is really going on. And I also feel like with all of this upheaval that has been presented by not only the media, but the administration itself, and this, I'm not being critical at all. I want Trump to be the best president ever in the history of the United States. That's what I want. I want him to prop up, step up, and be that guy. Okay? So, but the staff, this is what I see. The staff in the White House seems like, to me, there's like 3 or 4 people there. 3 or 4, maybe 5. What is this? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what happened to healthcare? What happened to income tax review? What happened to the military? What happened to the infrastructure? What happened to the wall? What happened to jobs? What happened to? There is nobody there to do any work, and I'm tripping on it. I'm just tripping on it. It's like I've been waiting every day for something to just move forward. And is it all of these distractions? And when this thing goes down tomorrow with Comey, is it going to end tomorrow? Or are we looking at 2 or 3 years of just protracted investigations and distractions and everything else where we need to worry about us? We need jobs. We need our children taken care of. We need all the infrastructure, roads, everything that was supposed to be moving forward at a rapid clip. That's just me. So tomorrow it's either the beginning or the end. Is it just going to be over tomorrow? I don't know. And that's what's going on in this country. It is a trippy situation that we find ourselves in, and it's never, ever, ever been like this before. I think Watergate was more cut and dried. Here, we just don't know what's going on. We don't have any clue about what's going on in Washington. None. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. That's the conspiracy. That's the conspiracy. Who's running this country right now? I'll talk to you in just a minute. Coming up, Adrien Vallera. Right now, DisclosureFest LA. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. Let's wind the clocks back 60 years. Food was different. Food provided health and nutrition, and using supplements was minimal. Unfortunately, now we have chemicals, GMOs, herbicides, and pesticides that can be quite lethal in the name of our food supply and, of course, the ever-loving dollar. Supplementing our diets can be very important to stay healthy. Cleansing from daily intruders to the body might be critical. Live strong and take charge. Log on to getthetea.com. Our herbal tea is a great way to cleanse from intruders. Our supplements is a great way to maintain and improve your health. When your health is not up to par, go to getthetea.com. No GMOs, no fillers, and organic, and very helpful in keeping you at the top of your game. Life is too short to feel, you know what I mean. Stay in the game, at the top of your game with getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Again, getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. Tonight, we're doing a very special broadcast presenting the Disclosure Fest Los Angeles, taking place in downtown Los Angeles on Saturday, June 17th at the Los Angeles State Historic Park. And joining us now is the producer of the event, Adrien Vallera. Adrien, welcome to Fade to Black, man. How are you?
Yo, Jimmy.
Hey, Adrien.
What's up? Thanks for having us on. That's awesome.
Man, I am so excited about this. And now I kind of want to do this first. You first approached us about this event back, I guess it was about 6 months ago. And a pretty ambitious, event. It's a big event. Pretty ambitious, a lot of hard work. Are you ready? Now it's a week away, man. Are you ready for this?
Well, it definitely was hard. It's a lot of hard work, and we are ready. It's happening, man. There's no stopping it. But yeah, we're so happy about it. We're definitely ready.
Now, well, let's talk some logistics really quick. How big is the park?
Well, the park's about 30 acres.
Yeah, it's 30.
And 32-acre park, and we're using half of it, or else we could fit 30,000 people.
Right.
That's next year.
Right.
You hear that, fade or not? Next year.
And how many? Now I know there's probably two answers that you can give me right now. That's the correct one for the police, and then there's the other one that is a real number of attendees that are probably going to show up for this because tickets are free. How many people do you expect to have down there?
You know what? Everyone's asking this question. Right, we did register, on Eventbrite. So right now we're at over 3,000 people, and that's not expecting. We're all expecting people to have hey, there's this free show, you should come too. Who knows? We don't know. It's a free show, but it could be like we were talking to you the other night. You're like, there's going to be way more than 3,000 people.
Right.
So we don't know. It's all I know is we're on Fade to Black. We have LA Weekly full-page ads. We have Whole Lifetime full-page ads. We've done 70,000 flyers and, posters all over. We've gone to every festival that you could actually go to in California. I mean, we're can you cuss on this show?
No.
Okay, I'm not going to cuss. I was about to throw a big one out. But we've gone to every festival you can go to, and we're beat, but we're so excited because this is so important.
It is. And now I want to talk about some of the cool event. First off and foremost, when you have that many people down there, and it's going to be crazy, it's going to be out of control. Obviously, the police and the fire department and everybody else and insurance is all in line. So that's all going to be cool. But the most important thing besides the meditation is food. So what kind of food is going to be there?
Well, I don't know if you guys listen to a lot of these amazing researchers that you have, like, Corey Good and Will Koch and all these other amazing people you have on, but they always talk about a high vibratory vegan lifestyle diet. So we're basically going to go 100% vegan. We got vegan food trucks, and that's the way it's going to go. We're just going to keep that high vibratory diet in. No flesh. Sorry for all you meat eaters.
So I have to pack a lunch. That's okay.
Or you can just eat some, you won't miss the meat. I'm telling you. There's so much amazing, delicious food that you will not miss the meat. And then you can sit down and vibrate, have that cleared out pineal gland, and raise your frequency with everybody and just rock it.
Yeah, I'm going to walk around there. People will smell me. That dude's a meat eater right there. Just look at him. Yeah, that is so cool. It is so cool. And I every time that I get surprised when I eat some vegetarian or vegan stuff, and then I will think that I'm eating meat. They're really good at it these days. They're really good at getting those flavors in there. So I look forward to that. And
yeah, totally.
It's really funny. They'll fool me every time. So okay. So we have that part. Then we have some music, don't we?
Yeah, we have a lot of really amazing bands playing, and DJs. So we have two stages of bands and DJs and speakers for a lot of our partners that we're doing, like the Tree People, Heal the Bay. Even Sea Shepherd's going to be out there. They're out there rescuing all the whales from the whaling fleets.
Right.
So, and then some really amazing bands like Dynasty Electric and Robot Nature, and Kamananda's an amazing DJ, Singing Bear, Clayton Joseph Scott,
right,
who we'd like to plug because on the opening of your show you played Clayton Joseph Scott. He's awesome.
Dude, that is a great track. I mean, I had to open the show with that tonight. I mean, all of the music that we're going to be playing tonight is great, but that track just got the blood flowing here. Yeah, it's really, really a great track. Now, okay, and we're going to do a mass meditation event, and so take us through that. Now, we have coming up in a little bit, we're going to have Guru Jugat here on the show that Is she going to do the mass meditation?
Well, at 2 p.m. we're doing the guided mass meditation, and I'm going to be the one leading the guided mass meditation. So,
Okay.
Yeah, but basically at 2 p.m. we'll be doing a global live stream mass meditation over probably 100 countries, and it just keeps growing so far. And trying to use the intention to help the homeless population, the refugee population, helping to give the strength and courage some of these politicians across the world to make some important moves for us. And climate change, there's so many necessary things that need to be changed in this world for us.
As you know, you and I have talked about this together. There are things going on in the skies above Los Angeles. There are a lot of groups around Los Angeles, and some really cool stuff gets posted nearly daily of meditation and calling in these crafts that are appearing over Los Angeles. It's pretty incredible. What if something like that goes down on Saturday?
Well, it's funny you say that. We'll have Robert Bingham there, and that's exactly what he does too. He summons UFOs. Mm-hmm. So looking at that mass meditation with a mass sighting, I think it's newsworthy, don't you?
It's going to happen. I guarantee you. The vibe is going to be so cool and downtown. Is Jose Escamilla is going to be there? Is he going to bring some cameras too?
Yeah, Jose will be there, and he's going to be bringing some cameras. We'll try to get some raw footage, some live rod footage, things like that. And got to do a shout out to Jose. He's in the middle of dealing with some health stuff, and we wish him so well, and can't wait for him to just dive back into this world because he is so needed.
Yeah, his films are incredible, all of them, and he's a friend and neighbor and so forth, and it'll be great seeing him. And now we have the guests that we're going to have on the show tonight, but who else is going to be speaking besides Laura and Guru and Richard?
Well, we got Meg Benedict and Dr. David Jubb, who is kind of been out of the scene for a while, but he's going to be doing something on cellular rejuvenation, whole brain function. A lot of amazing people like David Wolf and some of these other nutritionists have gotten so much knowledge from Dr. David Jubb. Richard Yapsian, who you're going to have on the show. Martha Sofer is one of the most internationally renowned Ayurveda experts in the world. She's also does Vedic astrology. Masta Jati, who's a pretty insane healer. You might have seen him at Conscious Live Contact, a lot of different places he's done. Deborah Asara, who's in the oneness world, and she's going to bring her whole community. And there's a lot of people. I mean, there's just the list is going to go on. So Harman Jat and Shabat Prit is also on it, and they're part of the Rama Institute.
Right.
And they'll be doing a Kundalini Yoga experience in the workshop tent. So that's one of the things that's really beautiful about this event, because whether you are awake already and you're practicing yoga, you're vegetarian or vegan, or you're reading metaphysical books and really practicing meditation, and if you're not one of those people and you're literally about to walk and stumble, trip right into a yoga studio and be like, wow, this might be for me.
Right.
That's what happens when you kind of wake up, because when you run into something like that, you're creating the reality to do that, and you are doing that because something's knocking on the door inside saying, it's time to wake up. We've been asleep for way too long. So that when you come to Disclosure Fest, and there's so many different workshops, and these are all workshops that you could use, your educational-based platforms you could use in your life afterwards as you pick your pure life path. Because and the other thing too is for when those people that are awake and they are doing all this stuff already, like you are, Jimmy. I know you're doing all this stuff, and when you wake up and you're doing all this stuff already, and then we're stuck in this 3D time loop world anyway because we're living in it, and we got our cell phones, and we're meeting our friends at Starbucks and driving around, and we got our social media going, and there's that extra time that you have that you're using in this 3D world. You need to use that also to give back a little, and that's kind of what we do on the weekends with Disclosure Fest. You can volunteer and come with us to plant some trees and do some forest restoration. We do that with Tree People, one of our partners. You can come with us, and on the weekends we had like 1,200 people a few weeks ago at Toes Beach to clean the beach, and we do that with Heal the Bay and Ocean Conservancy. And we're going to start doing some other initiatives where we're going to start feeding some homeless people, some vegan food, some vegan soup kitchens. So this is a part that a lot of people that are really waking up and practicing their spiritual, enlightened, pure lifestyle, that they could just remember to have that balance in there and give back, because in this world it's very one-sided sometimes, and especially when we're raising our frequency and vibration and tapping into that higher conscious, that this is important, and that's what we're just trying to offer, more of like an educational-based platform as well as a community-based platform. And so we're not a festival; we're a platform.
Exactly, and part of that platform is the live streaming. And so everybody that's listening to the show right now that would love to be there but can't, you're around the world or another part of the United States, you have the live streaming part and the mass meditation being part of the live stream. It's a worldwide thing, isn't it?
Right. So yeah, you can at 2:00 PDT time, wherever you are in the world, please, because that's the most important time when we're passing out flyers and we're getting people information and they can't make it. That's one of the things we're constantly saying to people, like, just if you can't make it, join in, because you are making it. You are there. So at 2 p.m. PDT time, disclosurefest.com/live. That is where you can tap into our live stream. And you can also sign up and get reminders about it, and it's just really important to have this as a synchronized global mass meditation. All you Fadernauts, you could imagine if you could just close your eyes and be a part of something that could end chemtrails,
right?
Homelessness,
right?
Refugees,
right?
Open up the doors to free energy,
right?
Help this planet to be healthy. Give the courage to some of these politicians to make the right moves for us.
Right.
All over the world.
Right.
Fadernauts, just join in if you can't make it.
Man, it's exactly right. I wanted to ask you, and thank you for that, I wanted to ask you about the workshop tents. How many are there?
We're going to have 4 workshop tents, and they're going to feature everything from plant-based cooking, Ayurveda, sound baths, apothecary and herbal science, does type of yoga, and you name it. I mean, there's so many workshops. And then we also have a kids workshop tent where kids can practice kids yoga and sing with this amazing group called Sing the World Awake. They'll be doing like meditation with movement and face painting. And hey, it's Father's Day weekend. Bring the kids, everyone. Let's have fun.
Man, it's such a complete event. I have to ask you, Adrien, how did you get into this? When did you see the light? Did something happen in your life where you just took the right turn at the right time?
God, that's a long one. Even my partner, Jeremy, we're both in the same world. Hey, Jeremy's here. Say hi.
Jimmy, hey, man, how are you?
What's up, Jeremy? Good to hear your voice, my friend.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful to be on, man. Thank you so much for the opportunity here, man. I just wanted to let you and Rita know it's just such a privilege and an honor to have you at Disclosure Fest. We're just so excited about it, man. Yeah,
for us to be a part of something like this, it's so exciting for us, and the community that you, the both of you, and all of us are trying to build here, which is one of community, one of no negativity, one of knowledge, one of earth. you know, and for our brothers out there too as well, our ET all of this needs to just come together as one so we can just take that step forward. And being part of it, it's exactly what we want to do. And I'm talking about Rita, the Fadernauts, Fade to Black, the Game Changer Network, you know, to build this wonderful community together. It's just a wonderful opportunity. And I thank you for the opportunity and for you guys putting this project together, because it is ginormous.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. But yeah, amazing. You know, you were asking. So Jeremy and I, we met, you know, God, almost 20 years ago, and we were both super awake back then. But you know what's funny? We kind of share a history too, because we worked on the Sunset Strip. I worked at the Whiskey A Go-Go. He basically worked with the owner of the Whiskey A Go-Go also, and went to school with them and had an office in back of the Whiskey. So we were on the Sunset Strip. You were in the 80s. We were in the 90s.
Right.
You had the Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue era.
Right.
Just rocking it. And then we had the Linkin Park, System of a Down, Incubus, Hoobastank, you know, Static. I'm reading my plaques on the wall, by the way. So, so we come from a rock and roll, you know, lifestyle, but super awake. You know, I used to go to Bashar back in the day. I'm sure you're familiar with Bashar.
Love Bashar.
Bashar.
Yep.
And you know, there was a triangle craft above my house 3 nights in a row, and I was asking him, you know, hey man, what was I supposed to get out of this? And he just told me one word. He said Lily. And then about a week and a half later, Lily just appeared in my room.
What?
So, yeah, that's literally how it started for me, especially in the, you know, non-terrestrial, multidimensional world. So she came to me. I had no clue who she was. She freaked the hell out of me.
Right.
And it was a beautiful Esasani entity. And I found out later going to the Rainbow Gathering, because I went to a Rainbow Gathering to heal people. I do crystal healing, massage, and Reiki, and a bunch of different healing. And, you know, I met another girl there. Her name was Lily. And when I touched this woman to give her a healing, I saw all these flashes of her living room, her bedroom, us, you know, practicing, you know, baby making, and, you know, her backyard, and all these amazing things that just came back to me that basically told me what Bashar was telling me, which that girl, that entity that showed up in my room ended up being one of our hybrid daughters, and she was her mother, I was the father. So that's what I got out of it. After that, I was just kind of hooked. I was filming rods for many years with that's where I found Jose Escamilla.
Right.
Because I was filming these things, and I got thousands of them on tape. I had no clue who they are until I found out who Jose was, and he brought them up. So we have such a esoteric, you know, ET path as well. But honestly, with what you're doing and with all your amazing speakers you have on that talk about, you know, planetary grids and ETs and multidimensional, you know, things like that. You know, a lot of things that we are focusing on with this is a lot of people tend to, and I was one of them, I used to not have Gaia or YouTube, and I used to get my VHS tapes from the trunk of someone's car at Follow Your Heart.
Right.
And he would be like, you know, here's the Bigfoot UFO connection, here's the Kennedy assassination, here's all this cool stuff, and that was my Gaia back then, you know, and I was addicted to this information, just like a lot of people are. So, and it's super important information to know. And all I have to say is keep tuning in and absorbing this amazing information from such amazing researchers that Jimmy, you've had on forever, and you continue to.
I wanted
just
to
take the time
yes.
to go and meditate and tap into yourself. Because a lot of the time we're getting all this amazing information, we're finding out amazing stuff about secret space programs and ETs and, you know, base stations on all sorts of planets and all these things. And this is all amazing information. I'm so happy and humbled to know it. And sometimes it's really important for us to just really tune in, because that balance of raising our vibration and frequency, like Corey and a lot of other amazing people talk about,
right.
It's super important to tap into that, because at the end of the day, that frequency and vibration is going to elevate to a certain point to where we ascend, can't hold on to this physical density or whatever. We need to really just focus on that as well. And the fact that you're tuning into a station, to a platform like DisclosureFest is amazing.
Well, let me ask you, the media, here in Los Angeles, they're going to be there. They can't ignore this type of festival.
Well, if they're there, we'd love to let them in. We've had a lot of different calls about it, from Fox and Channel 7 and a couple others. So, it's definitely, I think they're definitely interested in this. I hope they understand the scale of it.
Right. This is a big going on in the entertainment industry's backyard, right in downtown Los Angeles. They can't ignore it, but certainly the exposure going out to all of those out there that have never heard the word disclosure. Right, that don't have any idea about it. All you need is that little germ of the idea, that little seed, and throw a little water on it, and then they go and they're exposed to it, and will help spread the word. That's exactly what this festival is for. Right, exactly. You nailed it. It's disclosure on everything. Everything. Think about this. What's trippy, Adrien? This is me. Think about all of the police, right? The fire department, all the civil services that have to be there for this event that have no idea, and they're gonna find out, aren't they? At some point. Right? You know what I'm talking about. See, you're being very reserved right now, but I can't wait. And one of the things that I love to do, and you can walk around with me, you can walk right next to me. I love talking to the police. I do. Oh, and I will walk up to any cop standing there, and I'll freak him out. And I will be doing it full force, man, on June 17th. I can't wait. I'll walk right up to him. Do you know what we're doing here today? No, man, I don't. And he'll have his serious face on, right? And I'll drop the disclosure on him right there. And that's I'll do it. I cannot wait. Very excited. Now, where does everybody go to get registered? Well, you can get registered on our website, disclosurefest.com. And grab yourself a ticket. I think you can get up to 6, but, just make sure that you get the people coming with you. Bring your yoga mats, some sunscreen, some blankets, pop-up tents, umbrellas. This is going to be a great, long, happy, beautiful, high vibratory day. Okay, I'm tweeting it out now. So is Rita, and I'm going to do that because we have to get out of here so we can get our next. We got a commercial break right here. So register, boom, done. Okay, that's out. Let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, who's up next? We got Guru Jugat. Guru Jugat. This is Rama Institute. That's right, Rama Institute right there in Venice Beach, California. We'll be right back. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Right now we have Adrien Vallera on with us. He is the producer of DisclosureFest LA. And coming up next, Guru Jugat. Stay right there.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrien Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrien Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly ancient life oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product. What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring two Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hard shell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The two full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129 and use the promo code JCRTWS and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tappy.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. Tonight, we're doing a very special broadcast presenting the Disclosure Fest, which is taking place in downtown Los Angeles next Saturday, June 17th at the Los Angeles State Historic Park. One of the speakers and presenters is Guru Jugat, and she is the modern face of Kundalini Yoga. She is the founder of the Rama Institute right here in Los Angeles in Venice Beach and also Mallorca, Spain. So I would like to welcome, next up on Fade to Black, Guru Jugat. How are you? Good evening.
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing?
It's all good. It's all good. Where are you right now in the country?
I'm in Hong Kong. And, even though I am a Jew, my name is Guru Jugat, actually.
Yeah, right.
I am a Jew, but it is Guru Jugat.
It's very fun. And also, when I heard that you were in Hong Kong, and I was just like, well, wait a minute. I thought you were here in Los Angeles. So I just wanted to clarify, you're in Hong Kong. What are you doing over there?
I'm teaching. I'm on a world tour right now. And, I'm teaching in Hong Kong. Just got done in London and Mallorca, my studio, and then headed to Singapore.
And all of that before Disclosure Fest next week?
Exactly. We're or no sleep till Disclosure Fest.
I was going to say, how are you doing?
I'm great. I do Kundalini Yoga. I'm like, it gives you superpowers.
Yeah, apparently so. And this is what I wanted to ask you with Disclosure Fest. It's one thing to speak and to present to an audience that knows you or knows about Kundalini Yoga, but you also want to speak to and introduce this to people that don't know, right? And that's going to happen at Disclosure Fest. It's a big event. And so for our audience that may not be familiar with Kundalini Yoga, how would you present it?
Well, it actually is my great pleasure. I don't like preaching to the choir. I'm really into spreading the good word of just that anyone can have a peace of mind and vitality of body in a very small amount of time. And we live in a technological age. The pressures of the technological age are upon us in ways that they're unprecedented. The pressure that's on us now compared to even several years ago. I mean, I have like 7 email accounts now. I have a WhatsApp. I have text messages. I have all my social media. A couple years ago, I had maybe 1 email account and 1 social media. And, so the pressures are so high, and everyone needs something besides reaching for a cocktail, besides reaching for some other kind of outside substance to be able to create kind of wellness and peace in themselves and their minds and their bodies. So Kundalini Yoga is a technology that in a very quick and effective way does that, because it's a science, and the body is a scientific machine, a computer. So if you know how to operate it, you have the skills to pay the bills, as it were.
And you bring up one of the points that I like to drive home with everybody. We are confronted, you're exactly right. We're confronted with checking our cell phones every 5 minutes to see if the world has changed, and checking email and social media and all of the mass media coming at everybody today with, quite frankly, a lot of bad news and fear porn.
Yeah.
And how do we combat that these days? The darkness is out there. I think we're winning the battle. I think we're pushing back pretty effectively. But how do we combat it?
Well, I think that if we don't have the sovereignty of our own minds and our own ability to direct our minds, then it really doesn't matter what's happening, because people are in their own inner hell. And that's the externalization of that in the news and what's happening in the world is really because of basically humans that were not taught how to be with themselves and with their communities and kind of working for the good of all. And I do feel that the future is bright, and that the young people are not going to let this go down, because they're just much more sophisticated and much more kind of activated, which is why I love doing events like Disclosure Fest, because I love to speak to the youth. It's very important. So the future is bright, in not very long, these types of world leaders and these types of kind of things that are happening are going to be looked at as insanity, because the young people just won't have it. But right now we're at definitely the last gasp of a way of being on the planet that really isn't working for everyone or anyone, really.
It's kind of cool for me to see and please take this the right way, the older generation getting older. We need, they don't get it, right? And the younger generations, they get it. And eventually we are going to rule this planet, and we're going to fix things. And I really feel that is I do not give in to negativity. And I think that this next generation is totally wonderful, and they do get it.
I do too, and that's why I really, it's one of my big missions to work with the young people, and in everything we do, there's always an open door policy for youth and for millennials, and it's really important to me because, these old guys, I mean, the reason they're behaving this badly is because they know that they're about to be extinct.
Right.
This younger generation and the one even like younger than them, I mean, these are incredible beings, and if we do right by them and give them the proper tools, we're going to have a peaceful world and an environment and communities that work for everyone. So that's really one of my big missions.
What does disclosure mean to you? What's the definition of disclosure?
Well, of course, I've heard it used more in the realms of the UFO and alien conversations, but I think also just disclosure of what has been kind of the age we came from has been the people who have the information are the ones that have the power, and now we're in a time with the internet and with the technological age that it's no longer everyone can have the information. So it's no longer who has the information has the power, and we're seeing so many examples of that. But now it's whoever knows how to utilize, process, activate, and basically organize the information in a way that is beneficial to them and, whatever their mission is, whatever their work is, whatever their kind of art is. Those are the most successful people on the planet. And that's where Kundalini Yoga and meditation comes in, because it really activates your operating speed so that it's not about who has the information. Everybody, you can right now look up 17 videos on UFOs and 18 videos on, spiritual teachers. And so, I mean, this is the information is not as important now. Now it's how are we going to use it and how are we going to kind of create sovereignty and create community and prosperity.
The past, and I'm talking about the ancient past, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, cultures around the world, east, west, north, south, it doesn't matter, were connected to self, and they understood what the planet and Gaia and Mother Earth meant to them, and they were able to communicate amongst themselves, maybe not even speaking. And we lost that ability. What went wrong, and what can we do to bring that back? That connection? Is it stop watching TV? Is it throwing away cell phones? How do we get that connection back to Mother Earth?
Well, I feel like we're in a very unique time because really the technology that we're engaging in is a metaphor for what is possible inside of us. And the technology is just a step in the evolution of human consciousness to be able to understand that actually whatever technology we're using is something, it's a metaphor. And so I think we're in a kind of really awkward adolescent phase of human evolution. We have braces and a lot of pimples, and we're very awkward as a species right now. But we're in a growth phase, and hopefully we don't blow ourselves and each other up before we kind of get to the other side of this. Goethe says, I love this quote, basically, if you haven't studied the cycles of the past 3,000 or more years, you're living hand to mouth. And there's a poem that I love where this poet says basically Rome fell because they took the kind of mythology and the power of the female out of the rhetoric, and that's why Rome fell. That's why you could say that's why all the great empires of the world have fallen. So right now we're in the midst of the rising of the power and the activation of the divine feminine in all of us. And this kind of patriarchal systems have not worked for anyone. It's not gender specific. This is about an activation of, and I'm so happy to see, I'm not an anti-television person. I think all of these tools can be useful, and it's about plugging in, not dropping out. That's the difference between the 60s, the 1960s, and now. It's like, how can we plug in more and use the technology to bring us closer together? And, Wonder Woman first female director, kind of some scenes that you've never seen on major blockbuster films before. It went crazy at the
theaters.
How much money it made this
right.
weekend. So I think I was very happy to see that, because I feel like we're, in some pop culture way, we're reimagining what it means to be empowered human being. Again, not gender specific, but I won't ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it, but basically the male lead says, the difference between men in war with each other and women is that for a woman, the compassion and the dignity, because of her, creating life through her body, is always present, where men it's not. And so I think it's a very interesting time to be alive.
I have to ask you, and you've touched upon this, and I find it interesting. You've got the macho, over masculine guy out there. When he hears divine feminine, he doesn't get it. He thinks it's about giving up the male side of himself, right? Right. It's completely offensive to him, and they're so resistant, they just don't get it. So for that macho dude that is listening to my voice right now, how do you try to explain the divine feminine to him?
Well, I don't really like that term, and my boyfriend's one of these macho dudes. I like macho dudes.
Right.
Like, I'm really into macho guys. I don't like the yoga, the kind of too over feminized kind of thing that's happened as well as a reaction to this. I think there's it's not one or the other. It's not black and white. So my boyfriend is like a real alpha male dude, but I'm specifically, and I don't like the term divine feminine, but it's hard to kind of put words to this, but it's really, it's about the prophecy that when a culture doesn't respect the pure power of woman and the creative power of woman to create the baseline frequency of the future, because she creates the future through her body. When a culture has lost that respect, then they've lost respect for themselves. It's just the way it is. And you see it everywhere, and that's what's changing. It has nothing to do with, bring it on. Like, I think men should be men, and I really, in all of my work, I do a lot of teaching with my boyfriend, with men and women and relationships. In all of my work, it's about, women and men actually, they're equal, but they're not the same. And so it's I think we've had this post-feminism kind of reaction where we think that men and women should, men should be more sensitive and women should be more whatever, but that's just kind of a toxic mimic of what I'm talking about.
And why is that so misunderstood? It is seriously, completely a 180-degree misunderstood. And I think you're right there that the 60s had something to do with that, and the 70s too as well, where it has completely been run off the tracks, and it is just, it's not right, and it's completely misunderstood. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I think it's just we don't have any role models, and that's part of what this, participating in something like DisclosureFest or the work that you're doing, I'm doing, people are doing around the world, is to bring light to these conversations, because we just don't have any role models. And part of my work is both being a new type of role model and creating others to be new types of role models where we're, actually living this. I think it's all well and good to talk about stuff, but if you're not really living something, then you're just a charlatan no matter what you're talking about, So I think it's about creating new role models, and that it is happening, and we're seeing it, whether you like Barack Obama or not, I think the relationship between him and Michelle was an interesting relationship to watch. I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about relationship. And, he's a powerful guy. She's a powerful woman. And there was definitely a way that they related that we haven't really seen in pop culture before. So, I mean, that's not the best example, but there are examples out there that are showing a little bit of a different way that men and women can relate with each other.
I hope I'm going to take you out of your wheelhouse a little bit here, but you mentioned ET and disclosure a few minutes ago. Have you ever seen anything in the sky that you can't explain?
Absolutely. I'm 100%. I just actually hosted a really interesting panel with my friend Alan Steinfeld at my institute in Venice. He's been working in the, ET realities for a long time and done so many interviews and a lot of really amazing work in this realm. And he actually just was the MC of Contact in the Desert. So this is, it's a conversation that I love to have because I think it's just ridiculous that we think we're the only life forms in our galaxy or in the universe. I mean, it's hilarious. It makes no sense. So in one way, we were talking about this on the panel, disclosure has already happened. It's just whether people want to see it or not. I mean, it doesn't matter whether the government, it doesn't matter who tells you what's true or not. If you're actually paying attention to the reality of what's happening on the planet, then you may have a different perspective about life in the galaxy and in the universe. So yes, I've seen things in the sky. I've had all sorts of experiences, and it just seems like, this is if you pay attention when you're walking through like a city like Hong Kong, you know how many aliens are here? I mean, it's crazy.
Alan is way cool. Isn't he awesome? I think he introduced me at Contact in the Desert, actually.
He must have. He's like my best friend. Alan.
Yeah, he's a really, really cool guy. And I remember at Contact on stage. Oh, I know what it was. The last night on Sunday, I brought out all of the MCs at the end of one of the panels that I hosted. I brought out all of the MCs and introduced them to the crowd so they could thank everybody. But when I introduced Alan, I said, this is who I steal all of my best material from. Right? Alan, he's a pillar of knowledge. Yeah. And then after that, I'll just share this with you since you guys are really close. We had a little after party, right? Little after party in a secret location. Alan shows up, and Alan and I sat there and we imbibed, right? And we talked for 2 or 3 hours. And he's just a really, really, really smart guy that has been waving this flag for a very long time. And I've got mad respect for Alan. I wanted to ask. I know.
He's a trailblazer. He's a real trailblazer.
He is. I want you to share with me. You said you've had so many experiences with Contact. Share one with us. Share one with the audience.
Okay. I was in a meditation, I guess this was a couple years ago, and I hadn't had a direct experience with a Pleiadian, so I didn't know what they looked like particularly. Like I'm not out hunting this because I have a different mission, but my mission is about widening the perspective of consciousness. So this is not like what I'm doing, but it's not, it's not the center. However, I think it's a very important conversation. And so I was in meditation, and now afterwards, I of course Googled. I'm like, what does a Pleiadian look like? And it exactly what the being that showed up to me looked exactly like this guy. And it was funny because it said it in Wikipedia. Like Wikipedia described to me what the Pleiadian looks like, and that's exactly who showed up. So I had a Pleiadian experience. He showed up. He actually showed me a bunch of things that have to do with the work that I'm doing on the planet, but he took me off planet to a place where there was all these kind of vibrational Akashic disk drives, hard drives, if you will. I don't know how to exactly, they were not like ninth dimensional kind of vibrating glyphs that held the Akashic records of universes. And there were, more than I can tell you how many. It was in this huge temple. And so, it was a pretty wild experience, but that was kind of my first contact with that particular species of ET, and since then I've had a lot more. But it was very enlightening to me around what I'm up to on the planet, because Kundalini Yoga is very connected to these kind of off-planetary sound matrices that awaken consciousness.
Wow, I've never heard the Akashic described like that, but that's how I've always pictured it in my mind's eye. That's very interesting, because I've talked to so many people about that, trying to get their perception, right? How do they feel about it? And you know, was it a visual thing? But I've always pictured it like that, almost electronic. Very interesting. Oh, by the way, Adrien has been live with us this entire time, and he's just been quiet and behaving. Adrien, are you going to jump in? Yeah, man. You're going to make me do all the work tonight, huh?
I'm just being such a good little boy.
He's been here the whole time.
Hi, Adrien.
Hey, Guru Jugat. How's the tour going? You having fun out there?
It's good, yeah. You know, I mean, it's always weird. Like, Hong Kong is a weird place, but it's cool.
It's one place I've never been.
There must be vibration beyond words in Hong Kong. I mean, probably more so than any other place on the planet.
It's a major broadcast center. There's definitely, like I said, there's a lot of different kind of it's a Star Wars bar around here.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
It's straight. Yeah.
Now, before I let you go, first I'm going to say thank you, and it was an amazing conversation. I can't wait to hang out with you next week at DisclosureFest. But what are you going to be speaking about for your presentation?
That's a good question. You know, I'm kind of a last minute girl in this way, because I'm waiting to get the kind of information as to what needs to be spoken about. But you know, my platform is always about the simple things that we can do to awaken our own consciousness and speed up the evolutionary process, because I do believe that those of us who have the skills and the ability to have to kind of go balls to the walls, pedal to the metal around our own evolution, so that we can tip the scales around what's happening on the planet. So something in that vein.
Yeah, I feel that there is something that is about to happen. I don't know if it is, I hate to say, the flying saucer in the White House lawn, or it's the discovery of some kind of parallel world and universe, or the Mandela effect gets, I think something is about to break scientifically, officially. And then we've got some problems to deal with. How do we deal with governments, them lying to us? I don't know if it is, Atlantis gets discovered. I don't know what it is, something in Antarctica. I don't know, but I feel like there's something about to break. Do you feel that same excitement? I do. I'm excited.
I have definitely been feeling this in the past little bit, that there's all sorts of kind of, because of the polarity planet that we live on and what's going on, there has to be the same amount of kind of light and opening that the destructiveness and kind of contraction that's happening on the planet. So we've seen the destructiveness, we've seen what that part of it. So there has to be the same amount of light, and I see it every day in certain ways. But I think we're going to get into bigger and bigger portals of that. I agree.
Guru, thank you so much. And before we depart, I do want to say thank you. Where can everybody contact you and check out your work?
Well, I'm at Guru Jugat on Instagram, and you can find me on social, and then it's gurujugat.com, and that's Jagat. My online platform, Rama TV, goes out to 200 countries every day. My classes and discussions like that ET panel with Alan, and we'll talk later, Jimmy. We should do something in that realm as well. But and that's Rama, RAMA-TV.com.
There you go. Guru Jugat, thank you so much, and safe travels, and we'll see you, can you believe it, in like 8 or 9 days back here in Los Angeles. Be safe out there. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Adrian. Bye-bye.
There you go. Thank you so much, Guru Jugat. Adrien is hanging with us. He's going to be here all night. This is Fade to Black. We'll be right back with Laura Eisenhower. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
So I get out of the shower this morning. I'm looking in the mirror, and not to brag, but my beach body is coming back. I'm not fearing shorts and bathing suits this summer. And thanks to Nature'sYouth.com, I'm here to help you too. The anti-aging experts, Nature's Youth RSF, they've developed an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports my body to naturally increase HGH levels without synthetic hormones. You see, HGH, or human growth hormone, it's produced by the pituitary gland, and it's essential for growth and regeneration of my cells and tissues. Elevated HGH levels can contribute to not only increasing my energy, improving my libido, and reducing my body fat, but overall improving my exercise capacity. Now, just by watching what I eat, doing a little exercise, and taking my daily dose of Nature's Youth RSF, I'm in a swimsuit, and I'm happy to be there. My beach body is back. I want you to get yours. Join me today and look better and less with help from Nature's Youth. It's easy. Go to Nature'sYouth.com. That's Nature'sYouth.com. And bring on the sunshine.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. There's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. Tonight, Disclosure Fest Los Angeles. That's what we are doing. And with us, Adrien Vallera is here. But right now, it's about Laura Eisenhower. She is a global alchemist, cosmic mythologist, intuitive astrologist. She's an internationally acclaimed speaker, has presented her work worldwide. She's also the great-granddaughter of President Dwight David Eisenhower. She is considered by many to be North America's leading researchers on health, exopolitics, alchemy, metaphysics, and, of course, galactic history. And I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black our good friend, the one and only Laura Eisenhower. Laura, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Jimmy?
It's always good to hear your voice, my friend. I can't believe it. You're going to be down here in Los Angeles next weekend. Are you excited?
Of course. Oh, my goodness. Oh, gosh. I mean, I think this is exactly the kind of thing that needs to be done. We're powerful beings. We have to put our attention together. We have to meditate and hold space for this incredible shift because we're the conduits. And, I'm thrilled, and I can't wait to see you and Rita. Thanks for having me on, and Adrien, thanks for inviting me to be a speaker and leading a meditation. I'm excited, very excited.
Yeah, and what's going to be your take? I'm always excited to hear you speak, and you present so well. The audience is always there and is so receptive. But what are you going to speak about this time around?
Well, it's really going to be about the galactic chakras being integrated into the root. It's very important that these epiphanies and revelations that we have and this greater sort of higher awareness is anchored in our physical reality. And so this meditation is geared towards doing that. And the workshop will be about the practical things that one can do to, help to keep that vibration alive. This division between the higher and lower self is what I'm hoping to steer us away from and bring us into more unity consciousness, more integration of just body, mind, and spirit, really.
The thought of this is what I'm so excited about, and Adrien is here. Say hi, Adrien. He's behaving.
Hey, Laura.
He's behaving.
Well, I don't want to cut you guys off. You guys are on a roll here, but hey, Laura, I miss you. I'm so glad that you're on this and you're doing it. I'm so thrilled to have you.
Somebody just posted, hey, Laura, somebody just posted, Laura's going to kick you in the cabals.
In the cabal.
I said that on stage at Contact in the Desert. I just had this feeling of, we're kicking them in the cabal. So it's funny. People are starting to, it's spreading.
Yeah, we're going to make T-shirts, Laura, just to let you know. This is what I'm so excited about, is to have so many people, in the thousands at one place at one time to connect and get this vibration going. I'm telling you, the earth is going to shift next Saturday. That's a pretty powerful thing to get all of those like minds together in one hive mind to do just that, to kick them in the cabals. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. And it's exactly what they don't want to happen. And so it's just wonderful because there's all sorts of things that try and stop this. And nothing can stop this. The more actually they try and stop it, I think the greater the force of truth that comes back. And this is why this sort of event has manifested. And thank you, Adrien, for taking that initiative. Oh my goodness. LA,
you're welcome.
Right?
Yeah,
a free event.
Yeah, that's the other part. Just the ability to attend and not to have the monetary constraints of it's just everybody just come on down and let's do this. It's like the best message ever. Laura, I did want to ask you this. I want to hear your thoughts on this, what's going on in the world today, because we all know that there's all kinds of crazy, I want to use a bad word here, but I'm not. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, not only with politics and world events, but in our own community too as well. There's just seems like there's negative forces trying to divide and conquer, right? Well, what's your opinion? What's really going on?
Yeah, it's very embedded in our culture, so it's almost similar to what one would see in relationship patterning, something that you might have inherited from an ancestor or your own parents, or just cultural conditioning. And so we're surrounded by it. We're born into it. And the conquer and divide, I mean, that's that's connected to also the false flag of war. I mean, it's not a false flag as in it's an illusion, because there's real injury, there's real war. I mean, it's barbaric, it's brutal. People die, people get injured, people don't come home. We've had that in our history. Now this war has moved into more mind control. You know, we see the chemtrails, the nanoparticles and chemtrails that get into our bodies, connecting us into the artificial intelligence. And so as we walk around and breathe in our life, express ourselves, we have choices as far as, you know, what we're going to draw in. And if we look at the politics, the government, and basically the media, it encourages us to align with the artificial intelligence signals, or something that's more based in the control agendas, you know, and our creativity gets infected versus us aligning with organic ascension and our own divine truth, which will create a future that we want to see, because we've got all this dormant DNA that's ready to switch on and show us a much more advanced world. But we have to recognize, you know, the game being played is more a mind. I don't want to use the F word, but it messes with our mind more than it's giving us a real view on what's, you know, going on, so that it can capture and siphon our creative energies to serve, you know, a few and not the whole of humanity. And we know that model of how the elites are, and you know, the 1%. And people had that uproar with the, what was it, the Occupy movement. So people know, you know, what's going on, but there's nothing really supporting our relationship with nature, you know, in the media or in politics. I mean, there is some definite awareness and consciousness, though, embedded in it, and it's not all bad, that's for sure. But, you know, it takes these sort of shows and this sort of information to give it that extra nudge to take us out of, you know, this artificial timeline that, you know, we got sort of 1 foot in. Not all of us, but you know, a lot of humanity that we you know, friends and family even, that don't even know it. But the soul is really powerful, the spirit is powerful, and it doesn't want that sort of future. And it'll step in and intervene. You know, it's like we create crises, and sometimes we create events, you know, to snap us out of it. And as an astrologer, I see this, you know, in people's charts, that, you know, we set up different things for ourselves to make sure we get to where we want to go. Yes, but the media, the politics is conquer and divide, and without the unity consciousness, it's going to be very hard for us to switch on dormant DNA, because the whole purpose of unity consciousness is that we share these different codes and information to get back to that 12-strand potential.
I see. I've always seen two sides of you, Laura. The one that is kind and connected to the earth and self, and you want everybody to get to the next part of their lives. There's that part of you. Then there's the other side of you that is so friggin' passionate about this, where when you speak about this and you're trying to get this message across, you virtually, you know, you're almost angry, right? But you strike this balance with yourself, where you are constantly calming yourself down. You know exactly what I'm talking about. How do you work that balance of being heavy and being light, and continue to move forward instead of being, you know, just angry? You know what I mean? Trying to get people to understand and to listen. And then there's the other part where you need to be balanced too as well. How do you strike that balance? You do it so well.
Well, I mean, I have to have a sense of humor. I have to kind of make fun of it all, but, you know, not all of it is funny, but but at the same time, we have to find that place of detachment. And as an empath and somebody who, you know, does readings all day and has to really open up my field and be in my psychic body, you know, I have to, on a personal level, just on a micro level have that balance in my personal life versus, this larger mission that I've always had since I was a kid, and just being able to just be a human. And okay, so the emotions that come along with just all the stuff. My gosh, the more freedom of expression, the better. Whether that's art, creativity of writing, voice, dance, moving the body, and just saying it like it is, and knowing that you're a work in progress. I mean, I have to, I don't have to check myself on that. I know that I'm not perfect. I'm working these energies along with everybody else, but I do have a commitment to assisting others because I can give them themselves back. I mean, the whole idea of the astrology and the tarot and doing the clairvoyant readings is that I'm giving somebody their own frequency, their own template back. It's not about me telling them how to live or what to do or, watch how I do it. I mean, I'm just trying to heal my stuff, and I got my stuff. But when I work with people, it's really about handing them back themselves, and that vibration knocks out the undesirable entities. And that's the same thing on a macro level when we're wanting to rid the planet of the parasitic influences. So there is a part of our elemental body. We have the fire element. And so I try and keep it in the passion and not the anger, but I don't do well, being bullshitted, being mistreated, being abused. I have a lot of protection mechanisms, and I'm learning to have better boundaries. So, but yeah, creativity is really important because we hold the medicine we're looking for. But if it's all locked inside of us, if it's internalized, it can actually become toxic.
I'm asking everybody the same question tonight, and as much as you and I have talked over the years, I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Disclosure. That word is used a lot today for a lot of different reasons. For you, what's the definition of disclosure?
Just putting it all out there on the table, busting the crimes against humanity, talking about extraterrestrial races and ufology and all the secrecy, listening to all the whistleblowers, working together to connect the dots, having the conversations we need to have, and being okay with not maybe seeing things the same way. It's okay to have differences of opinion. So it's also mastering what it means to be a council or a group or a whole movement, that is going to walk in integrity and look out, for not just all of humanity, but, the resources of our planetary body, future generations, and just to be in maturity and wisdom, and help each other to be in that instead of be in this ego war. And so, we're growing in our consciousness as we're stepping into disclosure, and we're also disclosing information that has been secret and that, it's going to change the way people view reality for a long time. But to me, it's a multidimensional thing, this disclosure we're in.
With some of the things that are going down now, and I'm referring to not only the disclosure movement, but some of the big reveals that seem to be happening every single month with whatever, exoplanets or life on Mars or life on Europa and Enceladus or fast radio burst. It seems like they are prepping us, Laura. What's your insight on that? It's not so much the drip, drip, drip. I think it's more like pouring out of the jug now. Is something about to break?
Well, I mean, we have been that sort of flood, I guess you could say. I feel like something already has broken, and it's been us. When it comes to what's out there, sort of in the sort of more mainstream, yeah, because, I mean, it's spinning. I mean, the veil is, everything is getting to the point where you can just poke your finger through it, and then all of a sudden you can just rip off the lid. It's where we are as far as the planet in alignment with the galactic plane. I mean, it's what was to pretty much be expected with, these sort of agendas. during this ascension time, that these sort of options would present themselves, disclosure. But is humanity wanting to go in that direction, or does it want to keep its head in the sand? And again, we don't have to go with what the masses do. But yeah, I really do feel, something's going to take us to a whole nother level, but we have to have discernment, because if it's coming from that source, there might be something that drags us into another false meme or belief system about it all that might not serve us. So, let's look at it from the viewpoint of an observer and bring these conversations to the table. And that's exactly what your kind of show does, which I love. So, yeah.
And what do you think is next, though? How are we going to deal with something that dramatic and that big, whether it is something, interdimensional or a parallel world reveal or an ET reveal? Once one thing happens, then it's all going to break out, right? How do we deal with it?
I think we need a mixture of recognizing the rehabilitation that the human race is in. We're in a massive healing. We have had a very, very traumatic history. Anybody just on a personal soul level, their own personal soul story is probably filled with some sort of war or tragedy or trauma, either in their own personal ancestry and family or in how they've served what they feel is, their duty, their service to the country that has been a betrayal. So we have the rehabilitation, and I feel, we have the education, and then we have sort of this great transformation. And recognizing the need to take all this seriously, because, when we start to really have contact in a way that, impacts humanity on a more visible level, we're not... We need to be at a later stage than people just trying to wrap their heads around the fact that ETs might exist. So right now, I really think it's a lot about rehabilitation and patience, recognizing a lot of the traumas, still, putting on these events. These events are so important. People sharing their stories, whistleblowers, connecting dots with other whistleblowers, having these panels up on stage, and just people just really just getting more and more exposure. And then, maybe finding some way that they can be reached. This is why I do readings during the day, so that people can process the information I share. I don't want to share information and have people, completely, coming undone, not knowing what to do with it. So I do consultations and I do sessions, with astrology and other things that can help them during these times. So, I just encourage all of us to find something that, can be supportive to your fellow human. If you're the type of person to put out a lot of controversial or difficult information to wrap one's head around, and hopefully we'll see more numbers doing this, and it'll be more sort of it'll be more like, this is what it is. And I have a really good feeling about it, but not from the government, but from each other, from what we create together.
I wanted to ask you about health, because that's something that you talk about a lot. And GMOs and big pharma and big corporations, specifically with GMOs and chemicals, are affecting quite possibly the way that we think and operate, and it helps them keep the status quo where they need them to be. How important is health and avoiding GMOs with our own mind control?
Well, the human vessel is the thing that's moving from the carbon base to the crystalline. And as we do that, we shift into this silicate matrix, which, is sort of a lot to wrap our heads around. It's a return to something we've been before, because we sank, into our density. But if our physical vessel is in a low vibration, we can't hold, these energies. It's like, how can you put a high vibration in a low vibrational container without there being some sort of friction or problem? One can easily become ungrounded. So, say you have the consciousness, but you're eating crap food. you might find yourself having a really hard time being in your physical body, but if you are eating high vibrational food, if you allow yourself to go through the detox stuff, detox experiences, if you keep being open to facing your own shadow and doing the shadow work and, working with duality, merging duality, polarity integration, monadic integration, if you're willing to do all that, then your physical body is going to be able to handle what's going on. And the thing is, we get blasts of these light codes, and sometimes we're not prepared at all because we've been watching the news and in some low vibration of, something that we don't even have to participate in. It's a part of, the mind control. It's to just switch that box on and get sucked in. So it's not just, food, it's also everything, is energy in relationships. So what are you in relationship with? What kind of partnerships do you have? What are the quality of your thought forms? And, it's important to protect our auric field. I mean, there's all sorts of EMFs and frequency distortions, and, stones like shungite are really good. I recommend to people. And working with essential oils and tuning forks and crystal bowls, that will keep, you grounded, and it'll allow you to integrate these higher energies, and the negative food and the negative media and just anything that, we know is a detriment. It's very important to stay clear of, but if we fall into it because we're traveling and we have no choice, remember you're the alchemist, you can transmute, just keep your vibration high.
I can't believe you just said shungite. I'm holding up for the cameras in the studio here my shungite pyramid, and we're a shungite house now. We've got so much of it, and it's a relatively new. I don't even. Is it a crystal or is it a mineral? It's 99.9% carbon, right? So what does that make it? I don't even know.
I mean, it's considered a stone, but
it's incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, and we've got a bunch of it now. Where didn't know much about shungite a few years ago, and now everybody's starting to get what shungite is.
Excellent. Yeah. No, I recommend it to all my clients. It protects, one from even radiation, and it really just brings balance. So whatever's out of whack, it'll bring it back into balance. There's excesses and deficiencies, and so, it helps to bring us into that center point. It helps to connect us to the earth. It's really powerful.
Yeah, here in the bunker.
Stone's a good one to look up. Sintamani stone. It's connected to the Philosopher's Stone and alchemy.
Adrien, we've got a couple of minutes left. Do you have anything really quick for
Well, yeah, I'm just so glad you're talking about shungite. But first of all, it's amazing to hear these, because we've been putting this thing together for so long now, and we're talking to some of our speakers, and I've loved Laura for a long time now, and I always felt like she should definitely be headlining a thing like this, and that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to hear her speak about all these amazing subjects, because she's such an important person to us and to this world. And let's all tune in and keep it going, because Laura needs our support. And you're beautiful, girl.
Yeah, Laura, it's going to be absolutely great to hang out with you once again. We were just with each other a couple of weeks ago, but here we go down here in Los Angeles. So I definitely want to say safe travels, and say hi to the Fadernauts before you go.
I love you guys. Hey, Fadernauts. I can't wait to just all be together. You guys are we're family. So thanks for having me, and thanks, Adrien, and see you soon.
There you go. Thank you so much, Laura. Safe travels, and we'll see you here. And I just can't believe it, but 9.5 days, we'll see you here in Los Angeles.
Oh, so awesome. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Laura. Be safe, and we'll check you out next week.
Bye, Laura.
Bye.
Laura Eisenhower, everybody. This is Fade to Black. This is our Disclosure Fest Los Angeles special. Now, when we come back, Richard Yip and Cian Chua will be here. Stay right there.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn
it. This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our Disclosure Fest Los Angeles special event tonight. This is part of the Game Changer Network. Changing the game. Disclosure Fest LA. Of course, we have Modern Masters, our community. This is about enlightenment, knowledge, and of course, disclosure. Our community is growing and it's absolutely wonderful. And Richard Yip is a mind mapping advanced trainer, creator of quantum mapping, an NLP master, international public speaker, Australia's fatherhood expert, character first coach, a quantum transition spiritual coach, and creator of holographic healing. Cian Chua is a past life and life between lives spiritual regressionist, continuing the profound healing work of the one and only Dolores Cannon and Dr. Michael Newton. Together, Richard and Cian travel the world to sacred sites to fire up light grids and create new ones using light alchemy, and also are here to resurrect and reestablish of the Great Light Temple of Lemuria in Maui to facilitate the ascension of humanity to the new earth. And I would like to welcome first up Richard. Richard, how are you? Now, this is what's great. Welcome to the program. But you've got you've got a big agenda that you're trying to tackle here. How's that going?
Well, it's very, very simple, Jimmy. We on this planet have two ways of functioning. Do it the human way or do it the divine way. And so when you actually surrender and give up trying to make it happen in your own efforts, and what you do is you just become who you really are, get connected with what you're doing here, where you're going, become 100% instrument of the divine, then magic happens. And then, you don't actually have to do things in your own strength and steam and worry about, is this happening, is that happening? You just be in the moment, surrender the moment, actualize the moment, and all you have to do is show up, step up, and just express love and light that comes through you. Sounds simple.
Yes.
But there's a lot involved in getting there.
Exactly. And for you and for CN, when you guys get here next week, to have thousands of people in one place with one goal, right? Self, earth, knowledge, enlightenment, all in one place at one time. How exciting is that?
That is amazingly awesome, because what we do know is that when you have mass consciousness coming together, then the impact of that is exponential. And particularly Los Angeles. I mean, it's the home of Hollywood. It's the heartbeat of the consciousness of America. So what a great place to start. And, Adrien's got our full support and admiration and, for doing all that. And then he's doing it 100% from his heart, because the event is a free one. So that is so big.
You can say thank you to Adrien, and he's right here.
Yes,
hey,
of course.
Richard, thanks for jumping on.
And now this is what's great is that Guru Jugat is in Hong Kong. Right now, you're connecting with us from Toronto. You guys are up in Canada. We're here in Los Angeles, and we're all connecting. How amazing. I mean, I just love technology and what it presents for us. Isn't that great?
Awesome. Absolutely.
Now,
sure.
Okay, this is what I want to throw a couple of things out at you because of what you do and global consciousness now, where it is going. Of course, we have these dark forces out there. But I think we're starting to win. I feel that we are pushing back. Do you feel the same vibe that I do?
Let me say the tide has turned.
It has, hasn't it?
It has. Let me give you an example of why I say that. Right. You're a movie buff, are you not?
Yep. I live in Hollywood. Yes.
Okay, so you would be a Star Wars fan, yes?
Of course.
Okay. You remember the first Star Wars movie?
I do.
They had the ultimate badass weapon called the Death Star.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and the Death Star destroyed planets.
Yes.
Okay. Now, CN and I go around the planet and we run sacred light journeys using our light alchemy technology, and we go to sacred sites, and all this is done 100% on guidance. And so we were at Mount Shasta at the last week of May. And what we did there, upon guidance, was we went up to Shasta and we went to the Telos portal.
Oh.
We connected with the Lemurians in Telos. Another word for them is the Telosians.
Yes.
And not only did we connect with them, we fulfill what we were meant to do, which is connect them to a new light grid that we fired up in August last year at the Glastonbury Tour, which connected 3 celestial bodies, which is the central sun, the Pleiades star system, Arcturus star system, with 3 sacred sites on the planet, which is Mount Shasta, the base chakra of the planet,
right?
Glastonbury Tour, heart chakra, Lake Taupo in New Zealand, which is the center of the creation of sacred spaces on the planet. So that new light grid was fired up, and the significance of that was so powerful a crop circle turned up just for us and our group for the whole event.
Really?
Yeah, it's off the charts.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Was it instantaneous?
It turned up on the weekend. It was publicized while we were there, and the timing of it was amazing. Because we went to the we saw it on. It was reported on Friday. One of our team saw it on Saturday. We went to the Glastonbury tour and did a light journey at night at the tour, which was another amazing event.
Right.
And then on Sunday, we went to see this crop circle, which was in Anstey. It was the #1 crop circle of 2016. And it was there just for us. It was 300 foot across over 2 acres of land. And the symbology of that was perfect. So that was fired up in August. Now, that whole weekend, we fired up a whole new light grid. And then when we went to Shasta the last weekend of May, we created, upon guidance, a light star, which is the complete opposite of the Death Star. So this light star is in the center of this celestial light grid, and we have plugged the Arcturians, the Palladians, and the Telosians into this light star. And so we now have a light star in the heavens that, instead of destroying planets, energizes and enhances planets for its evolution.
How incredible is that? In Mount Shasta, we're going to be up there for the eclipse in August, and it's one of the most magical places in the world, and I can't wait for that. What is Mount Shasta going to be like on the solar eclipse right there?
You're going to find the energy of the place shifted to a whole new level.
How so?
And well, you see, when you go to sacred sites and sacred places, there's people that can dial into the energy of the sacred site. And when we went to UK in August, we had a lady by the name of Darlis, who is a dowser, and she goes around dowsing sacred sites. And she and her partner, who does the same kind of thing, they travel around the world doing this. They've been doing it for 20 years. And so when she came with us to the Glastonbury tour, the tour actually was reading negative before we did the work.
Interesting.
Once we did the work, it went positive, and then when we did the light journey, it went up, a factor of 3 to 5 times. And so that was significant. And then when she tried to dial into the energy of the crop circle, she couldn't get a reading because it was so high.
Right.
And then when she walked into the land in Maui, because she was with us there, the land that the Sacred Light Temple from Lemuria is going to turn up, she got a reading in the thousands, which she's never got on any part of this planet at sacred sites. So when you go to Shasta, because of the work that we've done, the energy of the space there has shifted. And I can categorically tell you that and guarantee that. And so anybody who goes to Shasta and does light work meditation will find that what they do is enhanced to a level they've not experienced before.
Yeah, we're going to do a mass meditation up at Shasta, too, as well, during the eclipse. A big ceremony is going to happen. I don't
Fabulous.
know. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. And I don't
Do you know where on the mountain they're going to do it?
I can tell you. You know what? I'll tell you next week when I see you here in Los Angeles. How's that? Fair enough. I know that we're gathering at the college there at the base of Mount Shasta.
Okay.
Now, when we talk about sacred sites, and we talk about it all the time on this show, but for you, what are your favorite sites around the world?
Oh, Shasta.
Right.
Uluru, Australia.
Right.
And I haven't been to Lake Titicaca, but I know that's going to be amazing. That's on my list.
The Door of the Sun. Yeah.
The Island of the Sun, yeah.
Yeah, man, right there. What about, I wanted to ask you about Egypt. Have you been to Egypt?
Yes, we need to go there and do some work. I've been to Egypt in 2008 on another spiritual journey. But the thing about Egypt and the pyramids there is that the energy there is very fractured. And the reason it's fractured is because, there's so much traffic from the public all over the sacred site.
Right.
And when unconscious people go to the sacred site, they sap the energy.
Right.
Progressively over a period of time. So that's one. Number two is all the conflict in the area. And number three, it desperately needs re-energizing. So that's on my list to go there sometime, over the next year or two.
Yeah. We're going to try to get there next summer as well. But all these issues in the Middle East, it just makes me nervous just traveling there, let alone trying to get to some of those sites throughout Egypt. Now, before I'm going to get Cian on next, but before we bring her on, what are you going to speak about at Disclosure Fest?
I'm going to talk about light alchemy and the light technology I'm working with and how it's going to shift consciousness. And what happens is that light alchemy is a tool that actually accelerates whatever you're doing spiritually. And I'm going to have my marquee up, my 10 by 10 marquee, which I call the Lucia Light Ship. It's a very powerful tent. It's got sacred geometry, energy-wise. Inside, it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to be running free light activation experiences for people, the entire day. Now, the only issue, the big issue I've got is that I'm limited how many I can do, so I probably could only do 200 for the entire day. So if 3,000 people come, there's going to be 2,800 very disappointed people.
I'm not going to be one of them. You're going to be able to charge me, right?
No. You get special preference because you're Jimmy Church. So I'm definitely going to light you up.
I can't wait for that. I absolutely cannot wait. Is Cian there? Can you?
Yes.
Let's bring her on.
Hi, Jimmy.
Cian
Thanks for having us.
How are you?
I'm very well and very excited.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys going to present together, or are you going to do your own presentation?
No, we're doing our own thing. Richard's doing light alchemy and offering free light sessions to activate the pineal gland.
Right.
I'm going to be speaking and doing a workshop about disclosure.
Now, okay, I didn't do this with Richard, but I'll do. Maybe you can answer for Richard. What is your definition of disclosure?
Okay, I used to be an attorney in Australia for 15 years, and then I changed courses, and I'm now a clinical hypnotherapist, but I don't even wear that hat. For the last 16 years, I've been doing past life and afterlife regressions and went down a lot of rabbit holes. And what came through was the ETs, both polarities coming in to heal, and also those that interfere with humanity. So I'm going to speak about that, among other things.
Now, an attorney doing, you obviously had an epiphany. Obviously, something happened. Let me ask you, does I know you've thought about that. Does ET have laws? Do they need attorneys?
I think some of them think they are beyond the law. Right. They're law unto their own. But others are here to help humanity.
Right.
So I deal with both types.
That's so interesting, and I want to talk to you about it a little bit further when you get into town next week. But that epiphany that happened for you, what was it? What made you just back off of corporate life?
I was actually a public defender, Crown prosecutor as well. Got very disillusioned with what was going on, corruption in high places, and I will say this publicly. So I quit without knowing what I was going to do next. And my dog died, and I didn't know. I never bothered to ask what would happen, whether there's a God, what happens after we die. And I went on a long search to find him, to see if I'd ever be with him again. And that led me to all sorts of material on spirituality, metaphysics, and so on. Eventually, the work of Dr. Brian Weiss, Michael Newton, Dolores Cannon, and I thought, well, I don't even know if any of this is true. The skeptic in me kicked in,
right?
And I went and did hypnosis, and one thing led to another. And then I discovered that we had past lives, we were humans, insects, animals, and eventually I had sessions when the ETs came through, and lots of them, hundreds and now thousands. So I've had the opportunity to dialogue with them through my clients during regressions, and I've watched them, I've seen them heal my clients. I've also had others come in who are reptilian archons who mess around with my clients, and Richard and I therefore ended up developing our own healing modality, holographic healing, where we deal with trauma in the spirit and the spirit releasement, where we actually deal with reptilian ET types and remove implants, devices, and all sorts of things from our clients that keep them stuck and locked down.
How important is Dolores Cannon? You know, and her methods. I think it's just profound. How important is she, or was she? She's no longer with us, obviously, but for you.
For me, she was my teacher, and she is someone who put me on my path. I would say that I would be, without boasting, I would be one of her most experienced practitioners on the planet, because I started very early. I started exploring regressions on my own in the year 2000. And Dolores, I attended her first workshop in 2007, and I haven't stopped. I used to be a moderator on her practitioner forum as well for a number of years. So I do practice what she has taught, and I've taken her technique much, much further.
That was my next question. You're reading my mind. So, yeah, the question was going to be, do you follow her directly, or have you expanded on that? And you've just said that you've expanded. How have you taken it to the next step?
Well, because Dolores herself never believed in the polarity as far as ETs were concerned. She always said there is no such thing as negative ETs, entities, or attachments. And some of us were very, very puzzled, because some of us had already encountered these things in our work. And one day I had a session with a practitioner, and after about 10 minutes there was a disconnect. She was going very, very well in her regression. And so I brought through the client's higher self, which is Dolores' technique, and I said, what's going on here? And the answer was, there is a dark one here. I said, where is it from? It's from the light. And I asked, if it's from the light, how did it become dark? And the answer was free will, free choice. And I asked about Dolores Cannon as well. I said, our teacher doesn't believe in these things. She says that she's never encountered these things before. Can you explain that? And the answer was, for Dolores that is Dolores' reality. For her to encounter these things would completely distract her from her work and her purpose. But those of you who are meant to be working in this field will encounter them. And since then, Richard and I have worked on hundreds, if not thousands, of people who've been afflicted by these things, these archons and reptilians and aliens, and they've been so stuck and traumatized, and once we've cleared them from the person's auric field, they heal. There are dramatic shifts. So I do QHHT, which is Dolores' technique.
Right.
But when it's required, I have to do other things to clear the field, so to speak, and to clear trauma in the spirit. And I find that the combination of those techniques, plus the work of Dr. Michael Newton, taking people to the council where they can see how they have actually planned their lives,
Right.
And major events in their lives, and that's what turns the key and flips the switch for them, and healing takes place.
Hey, Jimmy, I wanted to just interrupt for just a second. Hi, Chian.
Oh, that's Adrien, by the way.
Adrien.
Yeah, I kind of needed to interrupt for a second there, because before you let her off, I really would love for you to, because she did a regression on me, and some amazing things popped up. But I really would love to have her talk a little bit about some of her clients that she did her regressions on and found out that they were part of like a little secret space program.
Oh, yes. I actually heard about this too. Seeing what would you want to share?
There's actually a lot. I should be writing some books about this, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I've had a lot of interesting clients who have independently verified in their regressions, and these are people who haven't even read Whitley Strieber's Communion. They know nothing about ETs. They may have only watched the movie Alien.
Right.
They don't know each other, and they don't know me. And I'll give you one quick example, if I may. One of my clients, a woman, she was born in 1961 in this life. She came into her past life stepping out of a shuttle, a rocket, in a spacesuit. And she was an astronaut. And I asked her, what year is it? And she said, 1961. Interesting. And they were landing, and she was stepping onto planet Mars. What are you doing there? And she had stepped off to pick up a fellow astronaut that they had dropped off a year before. And he was over there doing a lot of research and experimentation, and he boarded the shuttle and it headed back to Earth. So that's one very interesting example. Another one spoke of secret bases. It was in the Colorado mountains, to be precise. This is an isolated area. The mountain itself had been hollowed out, and she described herself as that astronaut. Another one, seated in a chair like a Montauk chair, and she was blasted out through the opening, the top of the mountain, which was open and hollow, and blasted out into space. And she was there for a good 2 months, and I said, how do you explain that to your family? And she said, oh, no problem as far as they're concerned. I just went to work yesterday and came back the next morning. Time was compressed. So I can tell you a lot more, but I know you're running out of time, so perhaps I'll speak about that at the mass meditation.
What's interesting about that, as I was listening, there are, I'm not going to go into names or specifics, but there are contactees, experiencers that were part of the program that are speaking about those exact same things, but yet they don't know each other. And I find that fascinating. And when you hear this, knowing what you know and with your experience, when you hear that, how does that make you feel? How do you react to that?
Well, I get excited because here we have independent, in inverted commas, validation or verification of what's coming through other sources. And these people are a blank slate because this information hasn't come from a book or the internet. They don't know anything about these things. And I was very skeptical at first, and I used to park a lot of these sessions. And then more and more people, more and more clients came up with the same things, the same stories. I've had at least 12 who spoke about the origins of the human race. And they all corroborate each other point for point, how our genes, we carry the genes of the ETs, many ET species. And they were married with the genes of the great apes. So there is some truth in Darwin's theory of evolution. And the aliens, or the ETs as we so derogatively call them, they are our brothers and sisters. We carry their genes. And they're and a lot of them are very, very concerned about where humanity is going, and they're just waiting for us here on Earth to wake up because we're in kindergarten, and they're waiting for us to join the Galactic Federation.
I want to thank you and Richard. That was I'm speechless. That was I just want to keep you guys on forever. I want to thank you and Richard now for coming on with us. What's the best way for everybody to get in contact and see what you guys are doing?
Well, our website, which tells about the light technology, is www.lucia.com. Our contact details are there, and you spell that LUCIA LIGHT. Lucia is light in Italian, and then light.com.
We'll get all of those links up for you guys right now during the break. And again, thank you so much. Safe travels from Canada to here, and we'll see you next week.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
And I'm going to get charged. I'm going to get charged. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
All the best. Bye.
Thank you, Adrien. Bye.
Bye, Sian. Bye, Richard.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Richard and Cian. We'll see them next week at DisclosureFest Los Angeles. Now, coming up, oh, you're not going to believe it. Okay, you know what? It's going to be a surprise, but, well, it's Robot Nature. We got some music coming up next. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter. But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheTea.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring two Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The two full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129 and use the promo code JCRTWS and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to jimmychurchradio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at jimmychurchradio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. You know what to do. Tonight, it's been our DisclosureFest Los Angeles special event. And now it's going on next Saturday at the Los Angeles Historic State Park in downtown Los Angeles. Yes, speakers, yoga, the discussions on disclosure, food, presentations, tents, vendors, all of that is going on. But there's also some music. And so Adrien is here with us, but I would like to bring on Deepak from Robot Nature. Deepak, welcome to the show.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Man, how are you? That's
Yo,
the question.
Deepak, what's up, man? Hey, what's going on? I'm doing great. I love it.
Yeah, Jeremy's in the background, too, so we've got everybody here.
The whole crew.
Yeah,
I love it.
So this is what I would like to do. I want to roll your track right now. So let's. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Okay, let me see if I can pull this off. Let me see if yeah, there we go.
Okay.
What I wanted to do, I wanted to play almost the entire track, Deepak. Absolutely amazing. You guys are fairly new. You guys got together this year.
That's right.
Well, tell us about it. How'd you guys find each other?
Yeah, well, I was playing some solo stuff last year, and the rest of the band actually had their own band last year at the same time in parallel. We didn't know each other yet. And then what ended up happening was they lost their lead singer around the same time that I was playing some showcases solo, and someone who was watching the show kind of dug the vibe, dug what I was doing, and said that introduced me to them, and all of a sudden it was a match made in heaven really quick. And another crazy magic synchronicity and all that is that the keyboard player, when I met him that first night I met him, gave me a 301 area code from Maryland. It turns out that's where I'm from. He actually went to high school with my old lead singer from my old band by complete synchronicity, which just shows how connected everything really is.
Yeah. Never ignore synchronicity, my friend. Just never do
all
it.
Over
right?
it. It's all about the signs.
The writing is very mature and advanced. For did it just come together like that, where you guys were able to create like this out of the gate?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of songs that were kind of ready beforehand, and then there's a lot of new songs that we're all creating together now as a band. So there's, that song you're hearing right there was actually in development for a few years, but now it's got a whole new sound altogether that's definitely not anything close to what it was a year ago.
Now, one of the things that I ask everybody, and I'm going to ask you now, what does disclosure mean to you? What's the definition of disclosure?
Well, I guess to me, disclosure is really an opening. And it's kind of like a double negative. Like you have the word dis and you have close. So if you unclose, really it's about opening. So it's about awareness. It's about raining down the consciousness, downloading the brain into a new dimension of awareness where it's cosmically tuned in with all the cells of the universe on a whole new level.
That's a good answer. Let me ask you this, because I like where you went with that. Have you ever seen anything strange in the sky that you can't explain?
Absolutely. I actually live in the Malibu area, and we see things around here quite often, my friend.
What about the Malibu underwater base? Have you heard about that?
I have been hearing about that. Tell me some more.
Well, we're the ones that found that thing.
Well, thank you. Appreciate your service.
That's another good answer. What is it about Malibu, man? You can go out on just about any night and look out over the Pacific, and something strange is in the sky or coming in and out of the water. What do you think it is? Is it Malibu? You think it's ancient? What do you think is going on?
Well, I'm definitely aware, or at least I'm feeling a certain strong vortex energy in the Malibu area. There's off Latigo Canyon, where I lived for about 4 years. There's a little hike I used to do down there, and we ended up finding this, what felt like an ancient Native American preservation with, crystals and everything set in there. And there's never anyone around there. It looks super old, but it looks like every once in a while people come by and do sweat lodges around there. But there's definitely, Malibu itself is definitely a magnet for vortex energy, UFO sightings, and also the people that live there. You'll notice they're high-level entrepreneurs, business people, just people that think on another level of awareness on how they view the Earth from more of a macro level, and are able to interface on a micro level with, creating tangible things that can serve masses of people, billions of people sometimes. That's why they're so wealthy in the end, you get rewarded for that type of entrepreneurship. But yeah, Malibu certainly is a magnetic energy, there's no doubt. It has a healing energy. The waters are healing, they're more clean. The mountains, everything about it has a sort of crystal vibration to it, for sure.
Yeah, for you guys, for Robot Nature, to have thousands of people gather at the park at one time for a mass meditation, how exciting is that for you guys to be part of it?
I mean, it's pretty dope. I think the idea of hitting critical mass, gathering large amounts of people together to create single intentions, to vibrate, to meditate and breathe together is a positive thing for the world and creates a ripple. But for us to be a part of that musically and connect with those people and send out some musical vibrations on various frequencies, that could, create some healing vibrations, also inspiring and move people into energy, movement, dance, meditation, a combination of all those kinds of things. Celebration and silence, I think, is the balance. That's why, Robot Nature has that futuristic but also dualistic. In the name, Robot Nature is opposite. So celebration and silence together can certainly coexist.
So who's in the band? Give them all a shout out right now. Who does what?
Hey, they're all right here. We're going on speakerphone for a second. Everyone say what's up. We got Richie right here. Say what's up.
How's it going, guys?
We got Jesse Shaddis, the drummer. He's awesome.
What's going on, guys?
And we got Mikey on bass. So Richie's the keyboard player and Mikey's the bass player. Say what's up.
Hey, what up?
What's up, everybody?
The track is, I was so sucked into it today. I played it a bunch of times, and I just got to say, there's a communication that's going on there. What are you guys trying to say with that? I mean, it's how do I want to say this? It's appealing, and that's the wrong way to say it. But you know what I mean? There's something going on in that track. What's the message?
Well, the title is King of the Moment, and so if that can explain itself, possibly being the king of the moment is really just what it's all about for any humans, just to be in that place of breathing, being tuned to what you're doing, whether you're playing sports or martial arts or music, and just like being just right there, lost from everything, just being lost in it. And so the song sort of carries that message, but it also has an anthemic pop feel where hopefully the masses can be inspired and pumped up to just tear it up, just do the best they can at whatever it is they're doing. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, it's just all about perfection and the perfection of imperfection, really.
Okay, now I come from the music industry. I've produced a bunch of bands and a bunch of albums. So now I'm going to pick your guys' brains. How did you guys cut it? Did you cut it at home? Did you guys go to a studio?
Yeah, well, actually, up in the Malibu here, we have our own full-fledged facility, a studio as part of Robot Nature. We've got 3 rooms and everything, so we cut everything here. We got drum kits. We're doing programming. We're doing synths, analog stuff. We're doing lots of layers, vocals, and then actually the violin's not even on it yet. That's going to be the next thing. We're going to take it to the next level. Throw some electronic violin on there and take it to another level.
Who's producing it? Who's mixing it?
Well, right now we're all co-producing as a band, but then we also have other producers that we work with, and this track's probably going to get mixed by a few people and also remixed by a few people. So we'll probably have multiple versions soon, and then we'll have the main EP and album single, ready to go as well.
So real drums and microphones. The drummer's right in the background right there. He just laughed. Real drums, real microphones.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. We're combining all the new stuff that's out, and we're also using the classic method of recording, so that it all kind of comes together in a futuristic, natural kind of way, kind of like Robot Nature, how it sounds.
Yeah, and what's so cool about that, look, we all know, a lot of musicians these days don't know what a band is, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Right? And
yeah, we're definitely in the laptop era, and again, I'm not going to downcredit that, because there's creative people sitting in hotels creating amazing things out of their brains, but there is something about live music and playing and being on point, not being, hey, a lot of times even in movies they're like, oh, we're going to fix it in post, or we'll fix that later on, but like there's musicians that you got to play it right the first time, and that's what it's like to be a band. Like, you got on stage in front of people, it's not like you can edit it later, melodyne it, or tune it later. You got to hit it. So it pushes you to another level of musicianship and skill to be able to do that live.
Yeah, I have often said that some of the downfall of the industry these days is auto-tune, right? It just kind of messed things up, where there's something about just sitting down, playing the song from beginning to end. Fix it later, right? But play the song from beginning to end and cop that vibe. And that's what music is, and that's what a band is about. I'm not taking away from anybody that's got an MPC, 1000, and they, that's how they're artists too. I get that. But no, there's the band element these days is something that is missing.
Yeah, and it's again, it's all natural majority of the time, but granted, with noting on your auto tune and noting on your electronics, we are literally basically running 3 digital keyboards at the same time while playing natural violins, natural drums, and there's tons of electronic stuff going on, which is kind of cool, gives us that edge. So again, we're pro and con all that what you just talked about.
Yeah, exactly. The auto tune thing, just like anything, could be a tool. But it could also be a trap. Like, if you start depending on it, then it's more of a trap. But it's a tool. It's got a cool sound. It's got an effect. There's lots of cool songs that use auto-tune. But when you start relying on it to the point where you're actually losing your own natural skill, that's when you start going, okay, maybe I got to step back. Just like using GPS or something like that. Maybe you got to turn it off for a week and get your actual Jedi skills back.
You guys keep that up.
On that band, sort of vibe and whatnot. We actually, in a live sense, we like to just sort of improvise, let ourselves go, and let the energy take us wherever it goes.
Man,
exactly. Allow ourselves that we have the structure of the song, but maybe on a live show we'll jam a bit. Maybe do it differently each time. Maybe I'll sing it differently. Maybe Mikey will play a different bass line sometimes live, and it just gives each performance a new feel. It's unique each time.
You guys are going places. So how long is your set going to be next week?
I'm thinking I got to ask them on the calendar. I'm thinking 45 minutes probably. I think that's what that stage is.
Well, Adrien's right here. Adrien, you going to give them some extra stage time?
Like an hour, right, Adrien?
Yeah, they get to play for 2 hours and come back out.
There you go.
I'll the crowd again.
I'll negotiate the contract.
We're gonna do 10 encores. It's gonna be the encore's gonna be longer than the set.
I'll negotiate your contract, guys. Don't even sweat it.
I have to say these guys are awesome. We had to throw them on, and we believe in them. I've been doing A&R for record labels for years, and I found a lot of big bands, including Linkin Park and Papa Roach and Hoobastank, and these guys got it.
Hey, man, I can't wait to hang out with you guys next week, and it's going to be exciting. So go and rehearse, do your stuff, and we'll see you next Saturday on the big stage.
Thanks for talking to us. We're going to get back in the studio and get some stuff ready for you guys for next week, and then we'll see you there.
That's what I'm talking about. Robot
Later,
nature,
Deepak.
Everybody. Thank you, Deepak. See you guys.
Later.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jimmy.
Talk to you guys. How cool is that? They're a real band, Adrien.
They're awesome, dude. They're so awesome. Wait till you see Deepak up there cranking a violin and singing. And he's got a wah pedal on a violin.
Oh, man. Right on. So, man, now we're just a little over a week out, and this is a big event, but and things are going to happen. You know what I'm talking about. Something's going to happen. There'll be a fire hydrant's going to explode. Something's going to happen. But aside from the things that you can't control, do you guys have it all dialed in?
Yeah, everything's dialed in, man. It's come together. We're, luckily California State Parks, jumped on board. The guy who runs state parks is Sean Woods. He's totally an amazing cat, and he's totally conscious. And they stepped up, helped out a lot. We got pretty much everything ready to go. This is it's really amazing. Day of's going to be a little hectic, but we're running, 2 stages and 4 workshop tents, and everything's got its own schedule. So, I'd like to thank all the volunteers that are helping, the speakers, the the vendors that are there, and if there's more vendors that want to jump on board, help us out, because we're putting on this event. Jeremy and I are putting on this event ourselves, and we got some amazing cats helping us. But honestly, we're financing this thing ourselves. So anybody that wants to come and help us keep this thing going, because either way, this one's there, and we're going to keep it going. But we need as much support as possible to keep these type of conscious festivals going, because at this point, all you get to do is drive 3 hours and pay $150 and hope to kind of get what this is. And, this is free. You can come by and learn how to completely tap into your higher frequency, vibration, consciousness, tap into who you actually are and what role you play in this amazing universe. I mean, honestly, Jeremy and I talked for a while, and we're just like, should we charge money for this? And we're just like, you know what? For people to actually come out and find themselves, money has its own type of energy, and you know what? People should be able to come and do that and not have to pay a bunch of money for it. So we're a full-on 501c3 nonprofit, and we'd love as much support as possible, and we'll keep bringing this stuff to you. And we have so many plans. Next year, we're going to start planning next year's in August, and it's like even crazier. I don't even want to get into how crazy it is, because it's super huge. And there's people that are just waking up to this right now that are in the celebrity community and finding what we're doing, and they're just like, wow. So next year is going to be amazing. This year we have such an action-packed, schedule and show. I mean, there's everything you can imagine. We even got the Venice Beach drum circle there. Did I even mention that? Have you ever been to Venice Beach?
We used to live there. We used to go hang out with that drum circle.
Yeah, so church we brought church. That's what we called it every Sunday. I used to bring, me and Brandon from Incubus used to go to church every Sunday, which is Venice Beach Drum Circle, and just drum to the sunset. And so they're going to bring out a couple hundred drummers. Punya, the guy who puts that together, is bringing every nation's flag and every state flag. So the whole park's going to be draped with hundreds and hundreds of these huge, amazing flags, which is going to be great for the United Mass Meditation at 2 p.m. because that's what this is. We're trying to unite the globe. And there's so many organizations doing this. We're now kind of jumping in and, partaking in it. And we just want to, we want to help change some things. And what you're doing, Jimmy, with, with Fade to Black and all the support you've done with all these amazing researchers, that's what you're doing. And we just all got to stick together, because this community is, it's growing, and there's so much more we can do with it. Meditation and finding ourselves and changing the spectrum of this 3D world is what we need to start doing. And, we've been doing it. Now we just got to step up and do it all the way. Right?
Yeah, I was just thinking when you brought up Venice Beach, we used to live, since Venice Beach, we lived on the walk, on Speedway, right, on the walk at Washington and Speedway. Our front yard was sand. Right there. Hey, I wonder if Happening Harry's going to be down there.
I ran into him, and he's got to make money. So he said, well, that's his job, is to
that's his gig.
Scoot around on his roller skates, play some guitar. And I told him, there's 3,000. There's going to be thousands of people there. Come by. We'll see. He knew about it. I didn't even have to tell him about it. He knew about it.
Well, tell him I'm going to be there. I've known Harry. I've known Harry since I was a kid. Okay, I think
we all have.
Well, I've known Harry for over 30 years. That's how. I mean, we go way. He knows the real story. So if you ever want the real story, you go get it from Harry. He'll tell it to you.
Yeah.
But you should tell him I'm going to be there, and he has to be there. So just tell him to strap up.
Jimmy, what are you going to speak about? Because you've been talking to everybody and about what they're speaking out.
Yeah.
And the second thing I need to ask you is, what do you believe disclosure means?
See, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. And the thing is, it's exactly where I'm going. I am going to discuss disclosure, what it means to us, what it means to the government, the mass media clamp down on our knowledge, and how we have changed that. And that community that is going to be there next weekend, I'm going to speak directly to them and thank them for what they have done to turn this thing around. We went through a brutal thing in 2016, Adrien. Fake news, mass media, being lied to on so many different on all different subjects. It wasn't just one thing. And we have woken up to that. The world has woken up to it. You and I and everybody that is going to be there next weekend, they've all known this, right? And I'm going to let everybody know next weekend that they are no longer the crazy ones. It's the rest of the world that is nuts, and they realize that all of us were right all along. And that is what I'm going to speak about next week, and I'll make everybody laugh and cheer.
I love it. That's awesome. I'm so glad you even brought that up, though, about 2016. That, it was really the year of separation. I mean, even with some of those leaked emails between Hillary and the Rothschilds talking about the plan in Syria, and that whole plan was to separate.
Right.
And now we have here these people that are just Trump lovers, Trump haters, and there's all this separation. And what we need to do is create more of these conscious festivals that are just all about unity. Because at the end of the day, the separation new game that they're playing,
right?
It can't win.
No, it can't. It can't. Adrien, that's exactly my point. And it's our way of thumbing our nose right back to the man going, see, we were right. And you helped us. You helped us prove it, and we feel pretty good. And that's my message, and that's what I'm going to speak about next weekend. Hey, I got to thank. I got to roll credits and get out of here. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yo, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, man. I'm going to roll credits. You guys stay right there. Let me roll credits. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there.
Okay.
All right, stay right there. All right, this has been Fade to Black, our Disclosure Fest Los Angeles special event. It is taking place next week, Saturday, June 17th in downtown Los Angeles. Just go to disclosurefest.com. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Paul, Mark D. Kovar, LJ3, Renee Jonas. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar, Fady by Dale, Webmaster Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication, KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Until tomorrow night, Fader Night, open lines. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Say good night, Adrien and Jeremy, nice and loud.
Good night, Fader Not.
Everybody.
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.